Hey guys from Batteries and Bulbs. Here is like a Barbie Escalade, and this is how we've made it solar powered. Each one of those solar panels is 6 volts and almost a full amp. So what I did with that, or we all did this, we wired that whole module in parallel so that we can add up all the amps. So when we get that whole module, it's 7.2 amps and 6 volts. Now, then we take this, we duplicate that over here and then put them in series. So basically both those pegboards are 6 volts and 7.2 amps. When we put them in series, we get to add the volts but not the amps. So we get 12 volts, 7.2 amps. Now, I'm skeptical of that. The Escalade never really goes, or the Barbie Jeep that we used to use, never goes the same speed with just solar alone. So that's a question I have. Another question I have about this, when it's just solar, is how to measure the amps being drawn. We have a multimeter. It looks like this. And I know that you can set up a multimeter to go between the car and the solar panels while the car is drawing from the solar panels to measure how much is it pulling out. And it doesn't seem to me as though that the solar panels are really doing their job at 7.2 amps, or we would not be at a snail's pace. And some of the videos I send you should show that it's really slow. What it does do, though, is we have wired up. We've used this battery in the past. And this battery is what we really configured these solar panels to do. Because if you noticed, we come up with 12 volts, 7.2 amps. And we really come close to matching what this battery does, which is 12 volts and 7 amps. Okay, so on to the next thing. Here are the questions. Is this the best way to wire this up? And do we need some kind of solar controller to go between the solar panels and the battery? Should we have something wired up? Because right now all we do is take alligator clips and wire the batteries directly to the solar panels. And we've been careful about not overcharging a battery, because another thing to point out is that these solar panels sometimes generate, or at least the multimeter indicates 14, maybe 15 volts. So when they're together, sometimes they generate more. Okay, so another question we had was, how can we use the multimeter to measure the amps? Okay, that was it. The other one was, how do we, what's the best way to wire this so that we could also have a hybrid? Meaning that the battery's connected, the solar panels are connected, and you could use them in concert or one by themselves. Because I think a real hybrid car would do that. Maybe it would run on the sun by itself until you came to a hill and maybe you needed a larger draw, because we've had that. We have inclines on campus and it's harder to get up the hills. But here it is. It's our Barbie Escalade and the solar panels are using it. The new battery we want to use is this one, and I realize we'll have to change the power configuration and add another solar panel, but we will have 12 volts and 12 amps. Let's see. And I also kind of want to know what these mean. Floating use and cycle use. And that's what we're using to charge it. And we've had some success for that. Okay, so if you guys could get back to me and let me know what the best way to do this is, would be great. Also, is this the best type of battery? Are there types of switches that we could use in the operation of this? And all this needs to be able to be wired by a kid, because all of this is loose so that it can be reassembled by children over and over again so everyone gets a turn. It's not just a toy you get to ride in. You have to assemble it each time.